What's going on, guys? This is Damien from the Lookout, and I am here with Oceania top 8 decks from the last Oceania online regionals, and I'm also here from the new place. As you can see, we are finally done moving in, so this is the background that you will be seeing for some time now. So anyway, what's happening in Oceania? Well, it's pretty green. Oceania is known for being green at this time of the year, apparently. And yeah, so we'll be checking out the top 8 decks, but before we begin, two things. First off, we host free proxy legal open to everyone locals every Friday at 8 p.m. Central European time. Guys, there are like 30 players at these locals. It's a great place to play, to test decks, to try out new things. So if you wish to participate, go check out our Discord, link is in the description below. And of course, a huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. These are our $2 and up patrons that buy us coffee, that keep this crazy content grind going. And guys, thanks out for your support. If you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to a patron is in the description below. And I think that's about everything. Roll the video! As with all of our videos, let's start with the breakdown, or in this case, general info. So this was an online event organized by TAC Games. Huge shout out to TAC Games, phenomenal TO. 42 players in total, a bit more registrations, but a couple of no-shows, at least from what I got from Best Coast. Best of one pre-side, 6 rounds in total, 6 rounds. And of course, huge shout out to everyone who had participated at the event, from the TO, the judge staff, the players. All of you are amazing. I hope you had fun at the event. And guys, if you wish to check out the live stream, link is on our Twitch, link is in the description below. Now let's check out the top 8. Here we are, guys, with the top 8 breakdown. Huge congrats to everyone, and especially to the top 8. This is very, very green. Yeah, it's very green, especially with Ellen taking first place with Cell Reboot. Yeah, Cell Reboot is back in the game, guys. I think that this deck will start going down in the next competitive season, because there's only one more event, and that is the PPG one next weekend. Not this one, but the upcoming one. And then that's basically it until BT25. So Cell will still show up there, and then we will see will the deck survive in BT25, because I don't think that anyone was really prepared for Cell. You'll see what I'm talking about when we go over the deck lists. Second place, Max with Future Gohan. Congrats, mate. This time not playing Mehi, but there might be a surprise appearance in the deck list. Oh my god, guest list. Jesus, Damien, focus. Anyway, third place. Now, here's where it becomes crazy. Third place, Namek Goku. Okay, sure. One of the better green decks, definitely. We'll get back to it. Fourth place, Cooler Mill. So, okay, Cooler Mill, having survived the ungodly errata, continue stopping events. That's awesome to see. And then you go to 5th place and there's like Namek Goku again. So now you're like, okay. So Namek Goku showing up at, 3rd and 5th place. And then there is the SS4 Vegito. If you started asking yourself like, hey, where is SS4 Vegito? 6th place, congrats. And then suddenly 7th place, another Namek Goku. So Namek Goku taking 3 spots in the top 8. Mind you, Gohan not taking a single one. And this is only top 8. I have seen all of the deck lists. Gohan isn't even in the top 16. But you know what is? More Namek Goku. So, okay, Namek Goku, strong showing. Like out of nowhere in Oceania, Namek Goku suddenly shows up very, very strong. And then 8th place, another Cell Reboot. So, yeah, I've been rambling enough about this top 8 breakdown. Congrats to everyone, and now it's time to check out the deck lists. Here I am once again with Deck Planet, the undeniably best deck builder in the world, with Masters, Fusion World, One Piece, and Star Wars Unlimited. It's like 4 games, everything that you need in Deck Planet, literally no reason to use anything else. And now we're also going to have a meta page. It's currently on the development. version of the website, but it's gonna be eventually on the public one as well, and there we will have all of the data from all Masters events. It's gonna be awesome. Anyways, let's check out the decks. So starting with Cell Reboot, Ellen Luz, first place Cell Reboot, congrats Ellen. So here is the cell that all of you wanted to see. This is why you clicked on the video, isn't it? You bug lovers. You're like, hey bug man, first place, let us see what it does. Now I understand you completely. I absolutely understand you. I love this deck. So let's go with we start with the package, right? When it comes to one drops, an interesting thing. He's not playing the one that draws, the one from BT21 cell. Instead, Ellen is playing the ones from the package. Okay, and here's the reason why. Because when you play them, they have Union Absorb, and what he's been doing most of the games that we have streamed is uses the new cell when to play it. You know, when it's played, he plays the one drop from the drop, right? He brings, let's say, this one, and then does Union Absorb to go into this guy for free and draw a card. Like, that's it. Like, you get the 16k barrier guy and you draw a card. And if you want, you can go into the big guy. The big guy is not really that good, I believe, but it can help you aggro down your opponents. It's very cool. Now, is it better than drawing? Well, it worked here. It definitely worked here. And guys, even without the draw bug, this deck draws so much. So much. I think we had 2 games. Look, this deck has 52 cards in it. I think we had 1 game definitely where Ellen was down to 4 cards in his deck. And I think that the next one also came super close to it. So this deck draws an absurd amount. You're also running 4 copies of this one because you play it for free when you KO something. And then it has Activate Main, you tuck it under your leader and you draw a card. It's literally a free draw. If your opponent hasn't awakened, you're threatening 10k crit. It's awesome. And the last thing is this guy. So basically, Activate Main if your opponent has 4 more energy and you have a cell with cost of 4 or more in play. So that's the barrier guy or the big guy or the 6 cost. Play this card from your hand. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's cards, switch it to rest mode, and you can play this guy again. The idea is you play this guy for free for Activate Main when you have this cell or maybe even this guy. You play the Goku for free and you switch their energy, the last energy, into rest mode because it says choose a card. It doesn't say a battle card, so you can switch the energy into rest mode. Okay, now you have no more energies for floodgates, and red gets screwed if you do that. It's like no dancing today. Other than that, we also have the SCR, Bursting Rage. Yeah, so in this deck the SCR is Bursting Rage. It catches players off guard. So usually you just go into... Usually, you always go into this guy. He's 20k. He allows you to use your Cells Kamehameha for free. And he also gets plus 5k when he is played. So you get plus 25 in total from Bursting Rage. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Of course, Bardock Unison. You will mostly use this one to give something blocker or just to have your opponent discard a card. Like, I don't think that there are a lot of targets for his first, but you draw one. That's it. That's basically draw one, and that's it. And here is the Z deck, and here is the side deck. Then we go to second place, Max's Future Gohan 60 cards. Unless I've entered something wrong, it's 60 cards. Yeah, it's the full package. The full package here. The reason why you run such a high number is because this deck draws like 4 cards per turn without doing anything, just by existing. It draws like 4 to 5 cards per turn. So you're risking decking out, especially if you run into a mill deck. And those are pretty popular at the moment. 4 copies of Bunny Girl though. When one of your red Earthling cards other than Bulma is removed by a skill, you play her and then you play an Earthling only, with the cost 4 or less from your drop area. Earthling only is Videl and Bulma. The other one and this Videl. The other ones are Earthling Saiyans. But you do have Gohans which are Earthling Saiyans, so you can trigger the Bunny Girl here. And then we have the Z deck and the special guest Mechikabura. So Max, true to his word, keep stopping with Mechikabura. I'm sorry, this counts. It's obvious Mechi is here. And then we have the side deck. Congrats, mate. Then we had first place Zoran's Chestitam, Zoran's Namek Goku. So let's see. What do we have here? So this is the first Namek Goku that we are seeing. Runs the package. So Vegeta's, Piccolo's, and of course you need to run this one, of course. You have the little Gohan that gives Bardock Barrier, and then the rest is good stuff. And the cool thing that I'm starting to see more and more with these lists, and you'll see it very soon, is the return of Fated Rivals. Like, Fated Rivals are actually very decent in this deck. And the SER is Celzino. What else? When it comes to the Z deck, you run 2 copies of You Fool when you want to pity the fool, and then just swing twice with this guy. And then, of course, Bardock and a lot of other good stuff. A cool spice here is this Vegeta. It helps you not mill, because when he's played, shuffle up to 7 mono green battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or less that don't have super combo from your drop into your deck. So you recycle a couple of things back, you get 7 more cards when you're fighting against mill. It's a very, very cool deck. Then we have 4th place Timothy Haynes Cooler Mill. It's Cooler Mill. However, it runs a few cool things. First off, full power Frieza. You don't really see these ones anymore in Cooler Mill lists. So yeah, it's basically when he attacks, ignoring barrier, he wipes the board. That's it. He wipes the board. You can also play him with the Z leader, so why not run a single copy? And other than that, we also have one of these Vegetas. I think this Vegeta is okay. Like, if you, in the deck, if you play it on your turn, you mill 1 by giving -20 to something. If you play it on your opponent's turn, you Senzupin. So that's pretty cool. And 1 copy of this guy. Then we have the Z deck and the side deck. Running Fireball King Piccolo. I'm not sure what's happening here, but there is a Fireball King Piccolo here, so yeah, I guess alternative win condition. Then we have 5th place Craig's Namek Goku, misspelled of course. Let's see, a lot of the engine, but this one has some very spicy inclusions. First off, 4 copies of SS2 Trunks, so just not dealing with Indestructible or Barrier for, you know, for basically anything right now in the game. It's just like a barrier for good measure. That's what I wanted to say. Well, you know, this is what happens when you improvise all of your videos. Also 2 copies of the Go Bros Boss Monster. And a very spicy one. Now you're like, why so many of these guys? Because of this. And this is actually very, very cool. This is actually very, very cool. I haven't thought of this one until I saw it in the list. Basically, it's a blocker. Play this card, that's the counterplay. Permanent. If it's your opponent's turn and you have a green battle card with an energy cost of 8 or more in play, we just saw a bunch of them, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1. So 1 energy counterplay blocker, play this card. Auto limit 1. If your leader is green, When this card is played, for the turn it can't be KO'd. And then auto limit 1, when this card activates blocker, switch it to rest mode, to active mode. So it's a dual blocker, which can be KO'd, which just comes out. Yeah, I forgot about the Z deck and the side deck, sorry guys. I think it's basically the same, I will edit it in later. But basically what it does is you play it, and then you take a look at the Bardock. When your battle card with blocker is removed by a skill, so this part it functions only if the Frieza is bounced or something, but you also get a big blocker guy on the field for relatively cheap, and you get to stop 2 attacks. And if it's removed by a skill, if it's not KO'd, but like, I don't know, bounce to hand or something, then Bardock is going to trigger. That's pretty cool. That's a very, very cool inclusion. Then we have 6th place, SS4 Vegito Xeno, Benny's Vegito. Going through it, once again, it's Vegito. Like, there's nothing that really stands out here to me. Like, a bit hard on this, like 4 copies of these guys, but it's okay. I see lists running that 4 copies of them now. And the rest is, it's SS4 Vegito. Don't fix what isn't broken, basically. Yes, one would argue that it is broken, but that's for another video. I would not argue that, don't worry. 7th place, Ben's Namek Goku. So once again, a bit of a different Namek Goku. This one is actually running 3 copies of Oceanias in it. Yeah, more floodgates, even more, always more floodgates. 3 copies of Oceanias. Once again, Fated Rivals, and the SCR this time around is Golden Cooler. Because why not? Like, everyone expects Cell Xeno in this deck. You just play Golden Cooler. Instead, it's the same amount of energy. And yeah, then we have even more Floodgates in Dormant and Uneasing. And then we have the Z deck here and the side deck. And then last but not the least, we have 8th place, Kevin's Cell. This one is a bit more traditional in a way, that you have Wretched Regeneration in Perfect Force Cell combo, just to discard your opponent's hand until they have 3 cards left. This deck is running the Draw 1 drop. It's running the Draw 1 drop, so no Union in this deck. 4 copies of Cells Are Destroying, Bursting Rage again as the SCR, Fated Rivals. So this deck is running Fated Rivals instead of the Union Absorb package, and the 4-cost Goku. Very good for hand destruction. Like, you can do this and then you can follow up with the Piccolo if it's still alive. So there are options. 3 copies of King Piccolo, and then we have 4 of the Gokus, and once again another one of these, because even though you're not running the Union package, it's still a free play with this guy. And then we have a couple of boss monsters, and that's it. Then we have the Z deck, and finally the side deck. And I just want to check out what is this. If your leader is an android, when your opponent has a battle card in play with an energy cost greater than the card, and you have no cards in your battle area, you can play this card with, okay, so it enters for free. When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, negate its skill for the turn, and it can be switched to active mode during your opponent's next charge phase. It's pretty cool. For completely free, it's definitely pretty cool. So yeah guys, those were the deck lists. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below. What's your opinion on the Oceania breakdown? Are you excited to see Cell Reboot dominating? It's crazy. It only took one very strong promo to get this deck back into the metagame. Like, Cell has really been performing well. And of course, Namek Goku, is Namek Goku taking the place of Gohan now? Let me know what you think in the comments. I read all of your comments, I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And guys, while you're here, hit those like and subscribe buttons, help us get to 6k subs when I'm gonna give away a booster box. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.